going to watch the last frag first and then the rest of overtime. Okay, so here's the big opener. 100 damage opener. Huge opener. And now at this point, if you're thinking advantage opener, you see, okay, I've definitely got a stack advantage. I just hit a huge opener. Let's go get the frag. I need to get a frag. But the way you executed it was very poorly. You're going to chase. You're going to follow. You're going to follow around 3 corners into a pre-aim, into an ult, and a bunch of LG. It stacks out, melts you, and you die. So the decision to kill, the recognition that, okay, I got the big advantage opener, I need to kill, that's correct. But the way you executed it was very bad. And this is what you should have done instead. After these 2 rockets, keep holding S right here. Keep backing up and go to take a position at the platform that overlooks mid, which I will show. You should have gone to this position right here. Because from this position, you can cover 3 out of Slash's 4 options. Right now, in the scenario, Slash is right here after you do that rocket damage to her. So if you come to this position here, you're able to cover her first option, which is to go through rocket and come out to mid, which is what she did too. At that point, you would dual wield and just melt the shit out of her with LG. She could go to the 50 armor and come out right here in this hallway, which you could put a rocket in and blow her up. She could go down to the machine gun and come through lower route mega, which is still good for you because you're on a high ground with a rocket launcher above her. And then ultimately that would lead her out to either mid, which you're still above, or nail room, which is a terrible choke, and you could kill her there too. And her fourth option would be to go to the tri-bolt hallway, which is the only option that you can't cover very well from this position, but it's also the worst one that you don't even want to cover because you don't want to go chasing her through that winding hallway. That would be terrible. At that point, you would just give up and stop trying to get the frag. But instead, you follow her around and you chase her, and what actually happens is you end up giving her this position right here, and then she's able to cover your options. So here are the rockets, and then right there's where you should have went back to mid, but instead you chase, you follow, and look what happens. She ends up in the position I'm talking about taking, and you're the one who's going to get their options covered. So that's why you died, really. It's not because of ammo or because of whatever. Like, it's because you executed it wrong. Proper, like, recognition to create the frag after that big opener with a decent advantage, but the issue is that you're thinking, okay, need to frag. How do I frag? Chase. And that's not correct. You should be thinking, need to frag, how to frag, cover options. That's the sort of concept you want to apply to try to change your overall, like, view on the game. Think about it that way instead of need to kill, go chase. Alright, so now I'm going to watch the rest of overtime. So there is a big play about to happen. And then there's 2 minutes of spaghetti, essentially. So right here, this is what we're talking about in DMs. You were thinking, alright, maybe I should stay on high ground here and keep shooting rockets, which you could do, yeah. Or you could drop and take the armor. You want the armor, right? But you got to whip out the LG and start pounding, which is exactly what you do. So, I mean, you could stay up there with rockets, sure. You could come down and drop with LG, sure. I would have done the LG play. Like, this is fine. It's just a play style difference. It doesn't really matter. And you end up hitting fat LG, so, like, it works out. That's totally fine. If that's how you want to play, and then in that scenario, then you do it, and it works out. But here's the issue. We need to kill her now. We need to pull out the machine gun and start pelting her. But instead, we just let her poke in a spot she has no business poking. We take our mega and we leave. So that's a pretty big missed opportunity to kill. Right here, just take out the machine gun and start pelting her, because you need to keep the pressure up. You need to, after this fight, you're like, all right, huge damage, big opener. We've now got a stack advantage. I need to keep the pressure up because it's hard to chase Slash. It's a very choky map. What do I have to do? I have to keep the pressure up. Right here, you've got to start pelting with HMG because you can kill her. She's weak as hell, and you have to know that because you took that armor back there. She couldn't have gotten that. There's only 25 HP in this room, which she just took. And she hasn't been back to this armor yet either because it's not possible in the amount of time. You just saw her 2 seconds there. She couldn't have possibly went and gotten it. So you know she's hurting. You take out the machine gun, you can kill her here. And if you don't kill her, you'll push her off at least, which is fine. You keep the pressure up, keep her hurting. Third option is she can snake the mega, which it looks like you might have been afraid of, but Who cares? If she falls down here, you're still on high ground with 4 rockets and it's overtime. She might take the mega, but you'll kill her and you'll end the game, so it doesn't matter. But instead, you do neither of those things. You just kind of do nothing. You take your mega and then you run away. Why are you running away? You just did like 150 damage to her, and you know that she can't be stacked back up. It's not possible, because you took one of the armors, you took the mega, the heavy's not over there. All she could possibly get is a 50 armor, and she's a light hero, so she doesn't even have that much like max stack anyway. You're just sitting here doing nothing. Like, you have to keep the pressure up. You have control, and you're not applying any pressure, and you're just falling into her traps. Like, that's what's happening. So I wanted to just talk about the I wanted to really highlight this play here after this happens, and just you literally enter this next room that she's in and you don't even fire a weapon. I just don't, like, I don't know why you don't just do anything. You instead do literally nothing. But the next thing, though, is this is really important. So this entire sequence of events from the beginning of overtime, right here, starting with this fat LG damage, this is happening between cycles. There's no majors up. You just took a 50. There's only one other 50 on the map. You've got a major. You've got a 50. And you just did a fuckload of damage to her. There's just not much she could have, right? That's how you can know a player is weak, by thinking about what they can't get. And the things they can't get are the things that you took. Heavy's down, you took mega, you took 50, she can only have 150, so you know the player is weak. You have to keep applying pressure. You're in full control right now, and we're choosing to hide? We're hiding by a heavy that isn't there? And she knows that because she saw you, and now you fall into a trap and lose all of your control by taking 2 rockets. Even still, the player cannot get any majors, only has access to 150 because they're hiding over there. And you're hiding over here. The player with full control, the player who's been getting items for 48 seconds, has gotten every item on the map except for 1 small armor. There's another mega. We've now stolen 2 megas, 1 heavy, and 2 50s she couldn't have gotten. This is the other 50. We're even gonna deny this too. And you see, she literally slashed right now. I don't even need to see his POV. I know where he is. He's fucking hiding in tribal. He's just hiding. He's doing nothing, and you're doing nothing. And that's why you're losing this overtime. You have full control, and you're not applying any pressure. It's been a minute 10 seconds now. You've taken every item on the map except for his 150 armor that he's holding on to, Farmer Brown over there, and you're just not doing anything. You're not applying any pressure. You haven't even interacted with him once since the start of the overtime in the nail gun room. Here we're going to see him again. We're going to interact a little bit. Going to hit some damage, but we're scared to push because he gets a return opener and you don't want to die. But that's fine. Don't Mongo chase him, but keep the pressure up. Go, yeah, you heard him jump good. Now, like, go do stuff. Don't fall off high ground, but, like, apply pressure. And now it's all gonna fall to shit because he's gonna repush. He's gonna hit you with a huge rocket. You have to leave. He's gonna get mega, and it's over now. You just spent a minute 26, and you let him get a mega, and eventually he's gonna get a heavy too. And he's gonna come back. It's not over yet because you still got 100, and you know that he can only have the 150. But you see, like, I just want you to see how you had full control for a minute and a half, and you didn't touch your opponent. You didn't even shoot your gun at him, like, more than twice. I'm just gonna let the whole thing play out now, and there is one more thing I want to talk about, but between cycles, fat-ass damage at Nail. Take his mega. Take a 50. Take more megas, take more 50s, and we're just sitting here, like, hiding. We're not putting any pressure on. Why are we hiding? He's the one who has to be hiding, not you. You're the one who has control. You have a massive lead and you just give it up for no reason. I don't get it. If it was, like, split control on the items and, like, super neck and neck, that is how you would expect it to be for the players to have these positions where you're both just relegated to your own sides of the map. But it's not. You have full control over this guy, and you're just not interacting. You're not applying any pressure. He can't get any items for like a minute and a half, and you're just giving him more chances, more and more chances you give him by not putting on any pressure. And that's eventually when he steals his Omega and gets a heavy. So you see, it's been a minute and a half. We've interacted once since the first interaction. You've just taken big items, tons of items, and you're letting him get away for a minute and a half, basically. And after eating 2 separate big rocket traps, like, he's able to push you off a major, and now he's able to find a window back into the game. Yep. And there's one last thing I want to talk about. It's about to happen in a second here, I think. Oh, here's another mega that he can't get because you took. The guy cannot have much. 2 minutes now. All he's gotten is 150 armor and 1 mega health. You've gotten everything else for the past. Okay, so here it is. So here's the thing I wanted to talk about. Last thing. You see Slash, a minute 53. Eight seconds since you saw Slash in the heavy room. Slash is in the heavy room. You're on high ground with a rocket launcher. Instead, you double back, look at the ground, get a tri-ball, do some more nothing, and oh, there's the heavy gone. I don't understand. Why do you give up the heavy? This is your heavy. This is not his heavy. This is your heavy. You've had full control for 2 minutes. This is your heavy. Like, don't do any of the things that you just did for 8 seconds. Just stand here and shoot him. And if he gets cute with Splash, like, then go over here and shoot him, and then jump up here and shoot him, and jump back over here. Like, dance around, you know. He can't sit in a choke for 8 seconds while you have full control and you do nothing about it. You just, why? I don't get it. I do get it. It's because you think you don't have control. You're scared of losing. You're so scared of losing control, or losing the game, that you give it to him on a silver platter and put a fucking bow on it. It's like this example here should really drive it home. You see him enter. You don't see him exit. You don't see him exit anywhere. 8 seconds. High ground. Rocket launcher. More health. Bigger stack than him because he got the mega the cycle before you got yours, so yours has more. Light hero can't possibly match your armor. Like, you have literally every advantage in the book, and you just let him walk away with your head. I just don't know. Like, I don't know why. This is an example of how being too scared to lose control will make you lose control every time. Also, last thing, real quick. So now at this point, Slash has stolen a heavy and a mega. He stole the mega first. Just got that heavy from you. Now Slash is thinking, okay, I gotta push now. This guy slipped up, man. He gave me 2 majors. It's my time. I gotta make something happen. He takes that telly and he pushes you. You see the difference? Like. And it ended up being a bad push for him, but then you made it better for him by just taking the worst route, you know, everything we talked about earlier. He does that because he doesn't want the same thing to happen to him as what just happened to you, where the control you just squander it away, you just throw it away because you're not interacting. See the difference? See how when he gets full control once, he makes something happen with it? I mean, not in a good way, don't get me wrong, he should have died, but that's after the mega steal, after the heavy steal, and his mode changes. You didn't see him for 2 minutes. We didn't see this guy. He's fucking running away, like, and you're not chasing him. You're not putting on any pressure or anything. He's just hiding for 2 minutes. The second he gets his 2 majors, he's in go mode. He tries to make something happen. Poorly, albeit, but you see he's applying pressure immediately when he has his window. And for 2 minutes straight, you applied no pressure, and that's why you lost the game.